Hey guys, it's Glenn from GlennCarCollection.com, and in this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the 2023 BMW M2. And at the end of the video I'm also going to tell you when it's going to be available. Now if you follow the channel, you know my channel started with the purchase of my 2016 BMW M2 in Long Beach Blue with a manual transmission. I love that car. Have a ton of reviews on it in the channel, 2-year review, 1-year review, 6 months, you name it. There's a million reviews of it. And I thought it was just such a great car because the M3 and M4 have gotten so big and heavier that this was kind of like a shorter wheelbase, rear drive, manual transmission car. And of course, I'm a sucker for blue cars, and I think Long Beach Blue is still one of my favorite cars today. So speaking of the M4, how does the M2 going to compare to it? We'll go over some of that in the video to start off. So we have an M4 rear drive review, a new one with the big grills on the channel. And remember that M4 right now is available in a higher horsepower, same engine, all-wheel drive, torque converter automatic, or a lower horsepower version, same engine, manual rear-wheel drive. So the M2 is not going to be all-wheel drive. Thank God it's going to be rear drive. So when we compare it to the M4, it's going to have a 4.3-inch shorter wheelbase. Shorter wheelbase makes the car a little more lively, wants to turn a little more. It's going to have the same basically wheels as the M4, 19 inches in front and 20s in the back. And I believe it's going to come with Pilot Sport 4S tire. Now the tuning is going to be different. So the M2 is going to have stiffer springs in the front, softer ones in the rear. In fact, the rear dampers are actually coming from the new M3 Touring. Now, Touring means wagon, and here in the US, we will not get the M3 Touring, but Europe and probably most of the world will get it. But they're going to tune it like that, which will be real cool. So it's going to have a quick turn-in and a lively back end. So I'm really, really excited for this car. Now, basically, it's going to have a tweaked version of the M4's traction control. It's going to have an electronic limited slip differential and adaptive suspension. It's going to give the M2 improved agility, and it's going to have a unique steering tune as well. Now the M4's brake-by-wire system will carry over to the M2, and the M2, I guess maybe with a Sport or some kind of configuring M button, will have 2 brake feel settings. Though supposedly from people who have driven it, there's not much of a difference. Now BMW has not released power figures yet, but it's going to have the same 3-liter twin-turbo inline-6 from the M3 and the M4. And if you remember, the M4 video manual that we did, the rear drive, put out 473 horsepower, 406 foot-pounds of torque. Now that's 68 horsepower more than the current M2 competition, and BMW has said the power is going to be equal or greater than the outgoing M2 CS, which if you remember, has 444 horsepower. Now there's going to be 2 transmissions. So the original M2 that I had, that was made from 2016 to 2018, had a 6-speed manual or dual clutch transmission. So this is going to be the same, similar as the M4. It's going to have a 6-speed manual or an 8-speed automatic. So yes, a torque converter automatic. I expect that the manual will be more engaging, more fun. Well, obviously the torque converter automatic, of course, is going to be faster and probably more efficient. Now, why would you get an M2 over an M4? Well, it's going to be a 4.3-inch smaller wheelbase. I don't know how much less it'll actually weigh, as we just did a video review of the M240iX drive. It wasn't the lightest car in the world, but still fun to hustle around. I think the M2 is going to be next level. It's going to be even better than that, so I'm really looking forward to it. The M4 will certainly have an advantage if you want all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive, remember, M4 only comes in competition spec, and there is no competition spec in the M2 right now. I assume it'll start with the M2. In a couple years to M2 competition, just like the old one did, M2 CS, and maybe even an M2 CSL. So it sounds like the new M2, just the base model, is going to be outstanding. So just wait till we get to the competition and everything else. But on the M4, the competition has 503 horsepower, 479 foot-pounds of torque. All right, so you've watched the video this far, and if you watched this far, you should subscribe, hit that notification bell. 90% of my subscribers have not hit the notification bell, so make sure you do that. I post 2 to 3 videos a week. This week you're getting a 3rd video, and you won't know unless you hit that notification bell. Like and share this video so our channel can grow, and always leave a positive comment below. And today, tell me, what would you rather have? This, the M4, the M240iX drive, wait for the new M2 competition, or would you rather have the original M2? So this will be, you've waited this long, you've watched this video for probably about 5 minutes, you want to know when it's going to come out. Well, the arrival of the 2023 M2 will come next April. So it sounds like to me that the M4 is going to move up market. A loaded out M4 competition is in the 90s. BMW just announced another price increase, 3,000 to 4,000, about 3,500 or so on the new M3, M4. So now with options, especially if you want the all-wheel drive, you're going to be hitting 90,000. You put ceramic brakes at like 98,000. So I think the M2 obviously is going to go higher. My M2 originally fully loaded, I think was about 52,000. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're higher 50s and that car gets way into the 60s. Make the M4 a more premium car that's 85, 90, 95. So that's what I think is going to happen. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And again, subscribe for more M2 updates. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.